All right. Sam, it's been a relatively quiet Monday morning so far, which is honestly a little bit surprising considering what happened the night before, where Mr. Nigel Swanson himself went into the safe house and said that soon this would all be his. It started the big calamity between Jesse, David, and yourself that ended up as a standstill as Jesse just left and you stayed with David. Holden then said he was back, and since then, it's been quiet. At around 10:30 in the morning, you notice that you missed a call on your phone from Richard Hardwood's number.
It takes her a minute to recognize that name. Like, she knows who it is, but it's from a different part of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls it back. It's got to be a wrong number or
It did leave a voicemail too. The number did leave a voicemail.
I will listen to the voicemail then.
You get a voicemail in a voice that sounds familiar, but in that distant storehouse of a memory that's rarely accessed and is covered in dust and cobwebs, of a frantic voice berating you for leaving him alone in that room in that apartment. He asks if it is just some sort of sick joke, and where are you? And then it hangs up.
I'm going to call... Yeah, I'm going to call Jesse.
Unfortunately, Jesse does not answer because Jesse has already lived in this timeline.
Jesse doesn't answer. Okay.
Jesse does not answer.
I will call successive people from the watch, assuming none of them will answer at the moment.
None of them answer at the moment, correct. They have all lived this timeline.
I will pick up my keys and put on my shoes, and I'll just find David and be like, I'm going to go to the safe house. Nobody's answering their phone, and I got a really weird phone call. Did you want to come?
Do you want me to come?
I mean, Jesse might be there.
That doesn't bother me. Does it bother you? If I'm there and he's there?
It's fine. Let's go.
All right. He follows you down. And you guys drive to the safe house. When you get there, Holden is pulling out. He does not acknowledge you.
This is all so weird. What the fuck happened last night? I get out of the car and just go in.
David follows you.
I'm looking for answers.
Inside, you find a desert-phaged Jake Smarty who is currently moving to go to work, as well as Richard Hardwood and Jesse Rayner standing inside the safe house. When you see Richard, he looks exactly as you remember, just with less fear and less pain on his eyes. For the final image of Richard Hardwood that was burned into your brain was the desperation and panic on his face as Jesse put his gun against his head.
I stop dead in my tracks. And I just freeze.
Richard's in the process of writing out letters to everyone, so he hasn't noticed Sam come in yet. He's just kind of sitting over a table, having just grabbed some papers and pens and trying to figure out how you write to people about something like this.
It's... What? This isn't real. This isn't happening. You're not actually here.
Maybe. We're figuring that out.
Hey to you too, Sam.
Fuck!
I met a girl, and she brought Richard back. That's the very abridged version.
Richard's gonna...
You shot him in the head! What do you mean she brought him back?
I don't... explanation for you. I guess this was a demonstration, a gift. I'm not sure. It's...
A sick joke?
Sorry, Sam. I don't know.
You know, if we're going to be talking about my death and resurrection, I'd like it to be as if I was in the room, because I think I've spent enough time away. Don't you two?
Sam is gonna slowly walk over to Richard.
Richard kind of stood up awkwardly, rubbing his knees as he does.
She's looking at him as if he's like an object or isn't actually there, is assessing for reality.
When I first got back, I didn't remember everything. But when Jesse and that bad guy were talking about things, it came back to me. So yeah. Thanks for not letting go. You know? Sorry we didn't get to know each other better before,
You called my phone.
Yeah. When I woke up, it was still in its apartment. And just didn't know. I didn't know I was back. I didn't know I had gone. And thought you had all just left. I thought it had left. Maybe it was just... Yeah. So I called everybody. Once I was in the parking lot. And that's kind of when I found out.
He's gonna like reach out a hand to just like touch your shoulder.
He's there.
I mean, hey, whoa. I don't take this the wrong way, but the last time you were holding my shoulder was not a good memory for me, okay?
Sorry.
No, it's...
I'll turn to Jesse. So, he's back now? What? Like, what did you give up for that? We know nothing comes free.
I really don't. Sam, that sort of guided patient. The monkey's paw situation, for Richard at least, is I need to keep meditating on him, or he goes back in less than a day here. So
he's
uh,
not really back.
Not yet.
Can he be? Is this a forever thing? Or, no offense, Jesse, you don't seem like the type of person to meditate every single day, so, especially for the sake of another human life.
The hell was that smile for? You're gonna do it, right? I mean, you already gave her what she wanted. There's no point in not keeping me around. I was willing to go out before you told him everything. You're gonna keep meditating,
told who?
right?
Told who what?
old.
About what? About Jesse? Or about, Richard?
Well, he met Richard.
And he told her about the woman and what she could do, and Holden went off to meet her.
Jesse,
That's
what the fuck?
Just I'll get
What the fuck have you been doing in the last 12 hours?
Excuse me. Point of order is the thing that's happened in the last fucking 12 hours. You are going to keep meditating, right? Like,
it's not really
gave her...
Do you guys all want to make a listen check?
What the fuck is David up to?
David's just busy, like, trying to hang himself in the corner. He's like, too weird.
Oh, I got
yeah,
a 92. I'm clearly too upset.
No, Sam fails too.
27.
Good times having characters that aren't strong enough. I remember building like that.
Yeah, just pass him a regular.
Jesse, when Sam says, Jesse, what did you fucking do? It's been 12 hours. You are confident, but not for sure, that you hear a very low, sardonic chuckle come from David at that comment. Now let's quickly look up the word sardonic and see if it means what I think it does. Yes.
The fuck are you laughing about, okay? I'm kind of having a crisis over here.
You didn't hear him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't. I'm fine.
Only Jesse did.
I'm gonna kind of stare at David while talking to Sam. I woke up and this piece of mail / invitation was under my door. Said open the opal door.
Sam is gonna completely break eye contact with you and start searching through her bag for the invitation that she has that says the exact same thing.
I went to the waterfront for the morning. That was nice. You know, I didn't start my day with intentions to just go and fucking do this.
She pulls out the invitation, and she's gonna come and she's gonna push it right up against your chest and just be like, explain what happened from the beginning. How did it work? What did you do? What kind of power is Holden getting?
Hey,
Jesse!
you should probably just go see Nia.
Fuck that! What happened?
I told you it was just
She's
like a
like
guided
pushing into your
meditation.
chest
Yeah.
now.
Just a guided meditation. I don't. As per our earlier conversation, I don't do this sort of thing, so I really don't know how to explain it to you.
Why is Richard back? Why did
Because I
bring
went.
him here
She asked
only
me if
to
I
let
had
him
any
die?
fucking regrets. I didn't know what we were doing. She wanted me to go find Elizabeth. It's not how you make amends with people. She asked if I had any regrets, so I. This. And now this.
I am a person, I am right here, and I have 21 and a half hours to live until one of you makes a decision to do something, so excuse me if I'm not here to listen to you two fight for the rest of my life. Literally. I'm gonna go for a walk, okay? Richard's gonna walk out.
Do you guys watch Richard leave?
Yeah. I'm not gonna stop him.
Yeah, I will watch him leave and then immediately look back at Jesse with just absolute anger.
You guys both notice that David follows him.
David's trying to
Done
learn
with
the power.
Jesse.
Yeah. We'll catch up in a minute. Yeah, I really Jesse doesn't have anything else to really say to Sam, but he understands that you gotta blow off steam, so he's just here to receive that.
You have to explain what happened. You can't just tell me that you went to this opal door and you met this person and you meditated because of a regret that you had. What happened? Why is Richard back? Why is he going to be gone in 21 hours?
That's just how it works, apparently. Ev can do this.
You brought a living human back from the dead.
I didn't know that would happen. She just said you can fix things, and I thought it would I don't know.
So
put
what
me
happens?
At east or something.
What happens in 21 hours? Does he go through the same thing, or does he poof out of existence? What happens to him in 21 hours?
I didn't ask.
This thing that is theoretically Richard.
I didn't ask.
Jesse! And I'm going to storm out.
Richard, you're outside when you notice as you're stepping out the unbelievably handsome man that Sam came in with has stepped out with you. He's given you space, but he seems very gentle with his demeanor.
Hey, sorry about back in there. I'm just having a bit of a...
I was there a few days ago, not to the extent that you are, but I know what it's like to have my world just changed completely. So I'm sorry you're going through this.
Shit, you must be the newest nice guy on the Night's Watch, huh? They seem to go through an awful lot of us.
I'm Sam's ex-boyfriend.
You know, I didn't hear much about you, but honestly, the most I knew about Sam was really her deciding not to let me die.
That sounds like Sam. She's, what's an optimistic word for stubborn? Because that sums her up perfectly.
You'll know better than I will in a couple of hours. I'm sorry, I was all ready to go out again, but then they just... Like, what's...
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, no, please.
Do you feel like you're here?
I don't know what Sam's going on about, but I'm me.
Okay. Then, do you want to stay here?
When I thought that maybe it would be... I was trying to write some letters to say goodbye to everybody. Sam was going to be one of them, I guess, but I don't... Yeah, I... Can you ask someone that? I don't want to go through that again.
Then do everything in your power to make sure Jesse keeps you here. Anything in your power. David kind of swivels away as Sam steps out.
I look at the two of them. I'm sorry, Richard, for everything. David, I need to go to this opal door place. Do you want to come?
Who are you going to put through the fucking ringer?
I need to understand how this works. I need to know what Jesse fucking did. I need to stop Holden if I can. I doubt I can do that. But...
And when you get there and someone can bring your Richard back, who are you going to do it to, huh? Who are you going to give the fucking worst nightmare to?
Oh my god. If Sam meditates the same moment, pulls Richard out, are there two Richards in this world?
Okay, that's not her biggest regret. It's fine.
David steps in front of you, Richard, but still it doesn't like have that kind of like pushiness that like Jesse does. And he just steps in close to Sam and he says, I'm going to stay with Richard. I think he just needs a little bit of someone who wasn't there during his trauma. You go to the opal door, you do what you need to do. I'm just going to make sure he's okay.
Okay. Be careful. And she'll go get in her car and drive away.
It's like I'm not even fucking here. They both just act like I'm a problem, like I'm not even a person. It's like I'm not even fucking here.
Jesse's gonna go look at the notes Richard was right. Are they like in a weird alien language, or are they actually like English?
They're actually in English. They probably hit you right in the fucking heart because they were talking about how, you know, he's gonna go again. Don't worry about him. All that stuff. He's dead probably.
God. So here's a letter from my brief interlude. Ah, interesting. Anyone in particular in these that you've tried to message here, Richard?
Well, there's one for Sam. There's one for a
I know her.
certain. There's one for a certain woman up in a fucking tree somewhere, probably.
A certain woman, like a mother or a lover?
I can't remember the character's name, but there's one for my mom, there's one for my sister, there's one for you, which I haven't even started writing yet. Just says Jesse on it, and then a comma.
Yeah, that's concise. I understand the sentiment there. Jesse, comma, sigh. Here's the letter. I'm just gonna kind of, in my own notebook here, I'm gonna jot down the names of your significant people. Maybe I'll do something with that later. I don't know.
Sam pulls away. Richard, you're standing out there with a man who extends his hand and actually says, "My name's David."
Take it, give it a firm, like, 2 pumps and done. My name's Richard Hardwood. Fucked up to think there's a grave somewhere out there that's got that name on it right now.
Yeah. We kind of like always know about it, don't we? The fact that we die one day, but we never really. I mean, I've seen people face it. I've had to deal with families facing it. I've never had to deal with this. And I'm just very sorry that you're going through it. Is there anything I can do for you?
Honestly, you're already just doing so much more than anyone else has so far. Oh. Oh. I just maybe if we could grab a bite to eat somewhere or something. I don't even know if I have any money. I'm gonna open up my wallet.
There's some money inside, but David says I got it. It's all good.
You know what? It's my treat. Because what else am I gonna spend it on?
You never know. You might want to get some beers 12 hours from now, right? Save it for that.
Be a lot of beer. I would love someone to talk to. I don't know how to deal with any of this, and I don't know what's happened to all of them, but this is nothing like I remember it. These people are so...
I think Sam is just... She told me about what happened. And a lot has happened since then. And they have been betrayed and hurt and emptied. And they're just scared that it's happening again. So that's why they unfortunately don't have any respect for what you're going through. But luckily, my wound in the city of Red Hall is still relatively fresh, so you and I can heal together right now.
Are you like a pastor or a priest or something?
No, I'm a surgeon.
Oh, yeah, no, the good one. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Let's get a drink.
Do you want Jesse to come, or no?
Yeah, honestly, I think if anybody needs help right now, too, it's probably Jesse. He is not okay.
David nods and he goes back into the safe house. He opens the door and he shouts in, "Jesse, Richard wants to get a drink."
Yeah, I'll put the letters down and get my stuff and be like, all right. What do you want me to do about that?
He wants you to come. We're gonna do it together. I don't want you to do anything.
Okay. I'm gonna look at my watch. What time is it?
It's like 11:35.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'll like just leave with David there. And,
The three men
Um,
all get inside of Jesse's car, and they drive to. Do you have a tavern in mind, or should I just send you to one of Red Hall's taverns?
A tavern.
Want to go to the? I want to go drink at the strip club
At Vixen's,
where
all
we
right.
used to have our meetings.
We're going to Vixen's then. But first, Sam, as you pull out from the safe house with the opal door as your destination, you realize you don't know where it is. The card doesn't say where the opal door actually is.
I'm just gonna drive around for a while, honestly. She's just blowing off steam at this point.
Mhm.
Remind me what the card says. It just says go to the opal door.
It said open the opal door.
Open the opal door. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a similar picture somewhere. I'm gonna call Holden.
Holden's busy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Holden's busy right now. Do you want an idea check?
Yeah.
All right,
I don't know that I'll be able to do it, but let's see.
I believe.
She's pretty intelligent. Oh, ouch. Oh. It's 100.
Oh no. Sam
She's
is
mad.
Sam is just some white hot rage and confusion right now.
She can't think about anything.
Yeah.
Can't even drive.
Oh, Mike, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
Yeah. No, I think I'm just gonna drive around blowing off steam until I can like chill out enough to actually pull over and think about what the fuck this actually means. And then I'm gonna kind of ground myself and like steel myself for the next phone call, which will be to Jesse, to be like, where the fuck is this door?
Man, all right, my absolute favorite though is that all the mystery and the solution for it is the stupidest thing in the world.
Oh, I'm sure it's dumb. It's dumb. But she's so angry.
Jesse,
She's angry.
your phone rings and you see it's from Sam.
Yeah. I guess I'll pick it up. Have we left yet?
Yeah, you guys are on the road.
Okay. I guess I'll take a phone call and drive. I don't give a fuck. Hello, Sam.
Jesse, where the fuck is this door? Where is this person you went to go see?
What? Fuck if I remember as a player. Jonathan, like,
Do you remember?
just John?
Jesse would remember because he drove there. It's on
Yeah,
it's on the
yeah.
it's on the west side.
Yeah.
In
it's,
a newer neighborhood, a newer plaza. You can give her the
newer
address.
developments. Yeah.
Is it just a
Yeah, it's-
business?
Yeah,
Called
just
the
a
Opal
business.
Door?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be like, the signs nondescript, looks temporary. It really looks kind of like a pop-up. I really wasn't sure what it was going to be all about. Nieb's the woman, and oh, the receptionist. Pretty sure she's fake.
Hey, thanks.
Hey Sam, just I guess just don't I'll go try to change the past, because I don't know what's going to happen to Richard.
She just hangs up.
I don't know. I'll keep driving to the fucking strip club.
You're about 5
I
minutes
flipped-
away.
I flipped you the bird, by the way, when you said that.
Oh, are you in my car?
There's only one
Yeah.
car.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
They're all in my car?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe I
They
shouldn't have
listen to
taken
that
phone
whole.
call. Whoops. That's fine.
Sam, you're able to find the building. It is in a relatively new plaza. There's a convenience store, a few other businesses, but then on the edge of the strip, there is a nondescript business front with a white strip running above the entire section of the business that just says the opal door above the doorway, and all of the curtains are drawn shut.
I go try the door.
It's open. There's
I
a
will
small
walk
boot
in.
room, and then inside you step into a peaceful waiting room where a woman is standing behind the counter. And when you come in, she smiles at you and says, "How can I help you? Welcome to the Opal Door."
I'm hi. Sorry. I am looking for a person named Niev.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but I do have this, and I'll pull out the card.
When she sees that, she smiles and says, "I'll get her as soon as she's available. Do you mind sitting down?"
It's not. Will she be long?
I don't know. I can check if you would like.
Yeah. I'd like to speak with her as soon as possible. Actually,
Sure.
it's kind of time sensitive.
The woman stands up and then steps through a door that leads to the back. You're alone in the quiet waiting room that has a small water feature. There is some magazines on the table and just some peaceful, tranquil music in the background.
If I look over the desk she was standing behind, is there anything on it?
No, looks pretty normal.
No appointment books or anything.
No, it's all done digitally, and she locked the computer.
Naturally.
She is a good employee.
What am I? In the ancient times. I don't sit. I will pace the room. Not quickly, but I refuse to sit down.
Okay.
And I'll just wait until somebody comes
After
up.
a minute or two, she comes back in and she says, "Niev should be available in the next 15 minutes, if you would like to wait for that."
Yeah, okay, I'll wait. I'm just gonna pull out my phone and begin angrily texting with Aaliyah, who will not answer me, but I'm just rant texting block messages of feelings.
Jesse and Richard, you guys arrive at Vixen's, which is of course open. It's quiet right now. There is only one man in the bar. Richard, you remember him from ages ago. He is wearing a white tracksuit. His eyes are kind of beginning to cataract over, and his smile always unnerved you because it was just kind of beginning to brown like a mushroom would. And he always carries a little store box with him that you've never seen when it's inside, and you've always been a little curious. But other than that, it's empty. The bartender's there. You do not recognize them, as Vixen's had bartenders would rotate frequently, as would the majority of the staff here, apart from the manager, who would never be caught dead walking in on a Monday morning.
I have like a shiver when I cross the threshold. Like, it's just so overwhelmingly real to be back here again. And I'm going to approach the bartender, order a beer, and then order that weird track-suited man another one of whatever he's having. Because it's nice to see a familiar face.
He nods at you and gives you his toothy smile, and just that shudder that you felt when you saw him just a few days ago runs over your spine.
Yep, I'm definitely real. I'm gonna look back at the other two still at the doorway.
No, David has already found a spot for everyone to sit.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna head over with my drink. You coming, Jesse?
Reluctantly, he enters.
Place doesn't bite. I mean, except as a source of employment.
I'll sit there, like, I'm not as far away from the other two as I can. Like, if they're buddies, I'm trying to oppose them. Because Jesse's not in particularly good favors with either. I mean, he's kind of confused as to why he's here.
Why did you do it? For real. Why did you do it?
That would be a mercy.
Wasn't because you were scared. Wasn't because you wanted to run. Wasn't because it was easier.
I want to say I haven't really confronted it myself. I don't tend to decompress things like this. It happened, I move on.
Obviously not.
Up until today, I couldn't change it.
What are you gonna do in 21 hours? Less.
I don't know. Okay. You know what I'm not going to do is meditate on it. I know that's not what you want to hear. But, what do you want, Richard? I didn't. When I got an invitation and I went and just talked through an event with a lady I don't know, did I really think that I would be bringing you back? No. Was that my intention? No. I thought it would bring me some sort of peace. Maybe it'd be a way to confront it. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. There was no decision to do this. And whatever it may be, you're gone.
Am I? I'm right here.
Are
right
you?
here, Jesse.
Are you?
Can you prove otherwise? Huh? Because here's what I hear. I hear someone say it's not my fault. I'm hearing someone say it's not my responsibility. I'm hearing the person who killed me and the person who brought me back to life tell me it's not on him. So you brought me back for 24 hours just so I can die again, just so I can have 24 more hours of the same reason you put the bullet in my head.
It wasn't mercy, it was the easy way out. You're a master of that, Jesse.
Why the fuck am I even here with you two?
I want you to meditate.
Oh, what's enough time? What's enough time, Richard? Is this me now? Is this my life's purpose? Is just to meditate, keep pulling that thread? It's not my decision. It's not my ability. It's Niev's. The second she's done with me, you're gone. Are you going to remember any of this? If you disappear in an hour and then I meditate on you 2 days from now, are you going to come back with this day? I don't fucking know. Are you an effigy of David? Do you just think? Or Richard, do you just think? I don't know. I don't have these answers. I'm not a fucking mystic.
Even if I am an effigy, Jesse, you brought me back and now you're telling me you're just gonna let me die. That's what you're telling me. Even if I am not me, which, how could I possibly know that? How could I possibly know more than you know in this circumstance? You're just gonna let it happen. I don't know, you tell me. How much time is enough? Alright? My life was shit, okay? I was a fucking stripper detective. Do you know how stupid that is to think about when you're thinking about your own funeral that no one had? That your family never found out about? Do you know how stupid it is to realize you spent your life taking off your clothes and then putting on a hokey little badge to think you were going to solve a problem, and the first one you did? I don't want that to have been my life. Okay? I want at least enough time to have done something. Okay? I don't know if that's a year. I don't know if that means you have to stay in Red Hall for a year. I don't know if that's even possible for you or if that's a part of your plans, but it's not my choice either, Jesse, alright? I'm not asking you this because I get an option of who gets to bring me, who gets to keep me here, okay? You're my only shot. You're the only person, apparently. You're all I got.
Jesse's just going to kind of sit there and just stare through the table, processing all this.
If you're not going to do it, at least grab a couple of rounds of drinks with me, okay? I don't want to be sober when whatever happens, happens. Maybe you should just grab your gun and take care of it again. I don't know. Where can somebody buy a gun in this town?
You should go, Jesse.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault, David.
It is.
I don't think he knew what she was offering, and I wouldn't want to be in his position either.
Yeah, but if you're the manifestation of his guilt, he's just continuing to run away from it.
What a great buddy cop romance this is gonna be.
All right. David, you're a surgeon, not a psychiatrist. Fuck yourself. Richard, you've got 20 hours to do something with what you have. I'm not making any promises. I'm not going to give you hope. But if it's the right play, I'll do it. I just don't think it is. But this is your chance right now to do something. So do something or get drunk. I don't give a fuck.
Sounds
And
like you're
Jesse
talking to
will
a
leave.
mirror, Jesse. And I'm just so impressed about your ability to just deflect and deflect and deflect. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, with pleasure. Jesse's gonna get the fuck out of there.
As he's stepping away, David leans over to Richard, and he says to you, "I might know another way. We just need to talk to someone."
It's clear Richard is deciding something in his own mind about the next 20 hours and what Jesse's told him. But at this, it kind of like stops his thought process and he goes, All right. Let's say I'm interested. What the hell? It's obviously what the Night Watch does nowadays.
Let's finish this drink, and then let's catch an Uber to get my car.
All right.
Sam,
Hey.
after 15 minutes, the door opens, and Holden is led out by Niev. And you notice something with Holden that is completely different than anything you've ever seen from him before. He looks very fragile, and you can tell the man has been crying. When he sees you, he kind of just straightens up, puts on that face, and he says, "What are you doing here?"
I'm here to find out what the heck is going on.
That's fair. Jesse got his taste. It's only reasonable that you get yours. He walks over to you as Niev kind of just like smiles at you, Sam. And Holden leans in and he says, "Be careful with this one." And then he goes to step outside, assuming you don't stop him.
Nah.
Sam, Samantha, my name is Niev Murphy. I hear you received my invitation.
Yeah, but I'm not really here about that. You spoke to my friend the other day, Jesse Rayner. What happened? I want to know what is going on, and I want to know what happens to Richard Hollywood after 23 years.
I'm sorry, I have very strict patient confidentiality. I cannot speak about what happened with some of the other patients. I can only speak about your own struggles or issues or regrets.
So if I bring Richard and Jesse here, you can explain it all? Because somebody needs to know what the heck is going on.
I could explain it to Jesse if he came, but I would explain it to him privately. The best way to know what happens is if you just do the same.
No, because I don't want to bring anybody else back. I don't want to go back in time. I don't want to change history. I just want to know if Richard is going to suffer the same way that he suffered before, or if he's just going to disappear. If this whole meditation thing is going to be a lifelong process, or if it's sometime Jesse gets to quit and Richard gets to live, or...
Optimally, in a perfect world, I would make it so that this is not a lifelong process. Unfortunately, I am not there yet, so for the time being, it's all very temporary.
Why would you do this?
I didn't do anything. Jesse did it. I just opened up a pathway that he chose to walk. He is like you, Sam. Sad. And he hurts in a way that not many people in this city do. Like Holden does. Like I do.
One sec. And she's gonna pull out her phone and she's gonna call Jesse again.
Bring, banana phone. It's Sam, Jesse.
I'll pick it up one ring before voicemail. He's an asshole. Yes, Sam?
Jesse, you have to come down here. She won't explain it to me. And we have to figure this out. We have to deal with this. And we need to be able to know what is going to happen to Richard. I'm not telling you you have to meditate. I'm not telling you you have to make any decisions, but we need to know what is going on, and she won't tell me. So you have to come down here. Otherwise, I'm going to end up doing something that you and everyone else, and myself, are probably going to. You want to talk about regrets?
Sam. Oh.
Thank you.
Jesse will just hang up and make his way down to the opal door.
After
Nice,
about,
I'm going to do it twice.
after about 30 minutes, Jesse arrives.
Well,
Yeah.
he's here.
Um.
You two can explain to him what goes on, what Richard will experience at the end of this 24 hours if ultimately this peaceful does not decide to meditate.
Jesse, shall we go speak?
I'm just going to look at Sam and be like, why does it matter?
Because he is a living being. He might not be really Richard, but he's here. He's feeling things, and he deserves to know if he's going to suffer. I deserve to know if he's going to suffer. I watched that man die in my arms. I am not about to let him die in front of my face again in the same painful, awful manner if that is his destiny. There will be more to be done and said if that is the case. But I am not willing to risk that if it's not the case. If it's questionable, I might. I need more answers, Jesse, and I can't get them.
He's just going to heavy sigh and just walk back with Niev.
She seats you in that same small room. You're sitting on the bed. She doesn't ask you to lie down, and she sits in a chair across from you.
Just going to stand the whole time.
That's fine too. She can work with that. She just looks at you. She says, "Did you really regret it?"
Sorry, regret doing it or changing?
Doing it.
That's a loaded question,
Is it?
because if I say yes, what's the problem with what's going on right now? If I say no, would it have worked, or Would it even matter, or would Richard just go away?
So,
So you've got me trapped.
I'm not trying to trap you, Jesse. I'm just trying to understand why earlier this morning you were so honest with me and so quick to call out this regret. And now that you're seeing that it can be changed, you run from it. So did you really regret it in the first place then, or did a part of you enjoy it?
You regret me, yeah. What is it? What makes the same?
What I regret?
Profound sadness do we share?
It's just regret. The anchor that drags us to the bottom of the sea.
You know, barely midday, and I don't think I've ever been asked so many hard questions.
I think they're only hard, Jesse, because you're not being true to yourself. You don't even... You've built so many walls that you've walled yourself away from who you really are.
Seems everyone knows me better than I know myself. Listen, I don't give a fuck, but what happens to Richard in 24 hours? I gotta tell Sam. Does he just blink?
No.
Does he turn to a pumpkin? What is it? What's his Cinderella story? How's it end?
A small doorway will open, something will crawl out, and something will drag him inside. Just as it went the first time. And maybe if he's lucky, he'll be there to pull the trigger again.
Unless I think about it and do this every 24 hours.
Yes.
Just give him his little soul boost or whatever the fuck it is.
Is your life worth more than his? Would you have traded places with him that day? Or are you glad it was him? Because it took you 5 minutes to meditate on it. Is this man not worth 5 minutes if he is such a true regret? Because if he isn't a regret, just let him go.
It's just so unnatural. Shouldn't the whole human condition is to just you can't go back. You can't relive. You can't change those moments.
Why? I've shown you that you can.
I didn't know I'd be pulling a man back into this world.
But you regretted killing him. You wanted to save him. What did you expect?
Right, so destiny runs its course if I don't think on it, meditate on it.
It has to fix itself.
Holden talk to you?
He did, but I must keep that private between him and myself due to patient confidentiality. I hope you understand. Sam did. That's why she called you here.
Where'd you get on the circle?
I think our appointment is done. If you need to meditate on Richard, she gives you a business card with her number on it. You can call me. I'll need a bit of time to get to you, so please don't call me with less than 15 minutes before he goes.
Great. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Jesse's gonna leave.
All right, Richard, you have arrived at Sam's apartment where David takes you down to where his car is parked, and the two of you get in and begin driving.
Before we go wherever you're going,
Mm-hmm.
do you mind if we make a stop?
I can make that stop our stop if you wanted.
Sure.
Where do you want
What
to
if
go?
they're right? What if I am just a copy or some sort of fake? What if I'm not real?
Richard, I had the entire city of Red Hall made for me, and it seemed real. And then when I came back over here, I started to doubt that this was real because it always seemed real. And then, due to some help, I've started to understand that anything can be real. So in my mind, you are real. We need to convince this that you are.
When I was before, I had a gun. Didn't really know how to use it for self-defense. Oh, I'd like one. I'd like to pick one up.
Okay.
There's somebody here in the city who's putting my life at risk, and I want to be able to protect myself if what you're planning doesn't work.
Richard, can I be honest with you? I don't think that's you talking. I think that's fear. And I think people like you and me are better than that. We can still get the gun if you want, but I think you're just angry and scared.
He's not even going to bring me back. Why shouldn't I? I poof out of existence. Let's see what happens to him. Let's see who regrets him enough to bring him back.
It's not Jesse's time yet. The city still needs more from him.
All right. I'm not putting it off the table, but
Okay.
let's try your way first.
One thing, Richard. I need you to swear to me that if this works, you never tell anyone in the watch how we did it. Or that we did it.
None of them are here helping me. None of them are the people I remember. None of them even wanted to get a beer with me on my last day. I'm pretty open to that.
All right, you two, we're going to take a little pause here. It's going to be a few seconds for you, but like 5 to 10 minutes for us. Let me just write down this time code for this ad that's going to pop up for you in the next few seconds. And
Ooh, what's it going to be? Granola bars?
oh, I hope
get
so.
vaccinated?
Yum, 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 yum. Oh, no. Pause.
Where am I?
Who am I? Sam, Jesse comes out back into the waiting room where you are sitting.
Well,
Yeah, he just...
poofed out of existence, wherever he is. No pain,
Yep.
no suffering.
I don't know how it feels.
Can I do a perception or something to tell that he's lying to me?
Psychology. Would you like to compete against her, James?
Nah.
No. No, I don't pass.
Yeah, he's telling the
I
truth.
believe you.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah. Okay.
Sam, he's here. He's not supposed to be. The universe is going to right itself. Powers intervene.
Okay. Thanks, Jesse, for coming. I appreciate your help. And I'm gonna call Richard.
Yeah,
Richard, your phone starts ringing. It's Sam.
David, it's Sam. If wherever we're going is going to be loud. Okay. I've still got the flip phone that Jake gave to us.
Yep.
Sam?
Richard, I'm sorry about everything about this morning. Can I come talk to you? Do you have time for that?
Of course I do. David and I we'll have to come back around to get you, so it'll be a little bit, but...
I mean, I can meet you guys wherever you're going. I've got my car.
Yeah, sure, maybe we'll do that. We'll meet up somewhere close by.
Okay, where should I meet you?
Who did you choose? Who are you bringing back?
I didn't choose anyone.
I don't think Jesse's going to keep me around. So,
Look, Richard,
if you bring anybody back, you think about it good and hard first. Okay. This 24 hours, it's not enough to do anything with other than to be afraid. You think about it.
Richard, it's gonna be okay.
We'll talk soon, Sam. I'll text you whatever address we end up at.
Okay, I'll see you soon. So what are you gonna do now, Jesse?
What is there to do? Holden has scorned and chastised us. I got and have a meeting with him. That's all she asked me for.
Yeah, he
Now
looked sucked up when he left.
Who knows what he regrets, man? That guy's probably seen some pretty dirty shit.
Jesse, I thought you were better than this. I know
What?
you're better than this. I know that you have the potential to be a good person. You gotta stop. You gotta stop looking into the past like this. Richard, Elizabeth. Figure out how to protect the people that are still here. And then I'm gonna leave and go drive around until I get an address.
Richard doesn't know why, but he just felt a stab in the heart there. Richard, David is taking you slightly out of this the city, and then he pulls over at a hiking trail. It's one you've seen talked about before. It's just like just a normal sort of trail that leads down to a river. Shall we?
You know, I was going to investigate the woods at some point. Everybody shot it down. Yeah, let's go. Let's try and figure something out while I'm still here.
David doesn't say anything on the walk unless you initiate conversation. He's just kind of like keeping an eye on the trail.
Oh, I'm going to initiate conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell him about what the Night's Watch was like. The one from before this group. The one that I wasn't part of. The one that Barnaby told me about, that I had friends in that went missing, and how this was all really about kind of that legacy. About keeping people together and keeping the torch alive.
So that's why you did it?
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really not cut out for this kind of line of work. I never really brought much to the team except putting out a wanted ad in the paper and convincing people that it mattered.
I mean, ultimately, you were right about everything. Can I ask you something, though?
Yeah.
If this works, would you just stop? Would you just go back to silent existence, or would you keep searching?
I want to tell you that I'd be able to close my eyes. I really do, to be honest. I'd love to tell you nothing more than I'd pack a car and pop a first cheap flight I can get. But
once they're open, you just can't help but look.
look how shit it's gotten for all of them. They're not doing anything around here. They're running around talking to all of these people who are already in the know, people who never came out of the woodwork for me and mine, and the people before me, and like...
That's because the city's interested in them.
Someone's got to be interested in the people who are unimportant to the city. The ones that go missing.
Now, the reality of it, the saddest part is, Richard, is the people who go missing are just food. The people who keep getting tortured, they're the important ones.
You know what? Let's see if we can flip that script. I wasn't important enough, was I? So let's see if we can't shake things up, I guess.
That's what makes me so interested in trying to help you. I want to see if it's possible. I want to see if I can. And I want to see what happens.
That's all. That's the only reason any of us are here, right? Mm-hmm. See what happens next.
You realize that he's taken you off the main trail, and you're on like a kind of like makeshift path that eventually opens up to a small opening near the river, where on the far end you see that there is a lone tent waiting. Purple tent.
This it?
Yep.
Are you coming in, or is this a solo thing?
She's going to talk to you first. She doesn't have much to say. She's just going to help guide me through what I'm about to do.
Doesn't matter what's in there. I've already walked through the scariest door in the world, and I walked back out of it, even if it took me 6 months.
As you get closer to the tent, a woman in who she looks like just your stereotypical fortune teller. She has blue hair that hangs from her head. She has some golden jewelry that also is just around her neck and her fingers. And when she sees you, she gives you a very soft smile. But then she opens up her arms to welcome you in for a hug.
This is like the first hug Richard's gotten, and Richard's gonna take it.
You were right, David. I have never seen anything like him.
I mean, you could have if you'd come down to the Vixen anytime 4 or 6 months ago.
Chuckles at that, releases the hug, and just pats you twice on the chest. She kind of then just looks at you and then says, like says Jake hugged you, and then he did this emote.
It's true, I forgot about Jake.
I do feel like, even when you said no one in the watch cares about me, I feel like Jake did. Yeah,
much.
The blinders of Sam and Jesse have made you.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. If Jake was still here, I doubt any of this would be happening.
100%. She looks at you and she kind of just like grabs you by both the shoulders and she stares into your eyes and says, "In order for us to try what David wants to try, it's going to be horrifying for you. But if it works, we can make you whole again.
Can't imagine what could be bad enough. If you know anything about anything in this town, that you would tell me that it's going to be horrifying. So it's going to be right, proper bad, isn't it?
She laughs and she says, I know more about this city than you could ever imagine. But yes, it's going to be awful. Are you sure you want to do this?
You're like the other one, aren't you? The fella that they were talking to when I came back.
I am. Just with different interests. He cares about the city, I care about what's beyond.
Whereabouts have I got to turn now? Yeah, do your worst.
She steps back and then she says, David, you can begin. And David's hand reaches around you into your sternum, and then he begins to spin his finger and you begin to unravel at the center. Jesse. What are you doing?
I'm gonna call just John.
Hey, John! Eric, are you ready to take on John this time?
Hello? John speaking.
Hey,
This is Jesse, right? Mr. Rayner?
Yes.
Hey, listen, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry if I overstepped earlier. I know that you were going through something, and I guess this is just really important to me, and I hope I didn't blow anything.
No, it's fine. It's just this situation today. I really it's gonna take my attention all day, so I'm gonna have to give you a rain check.
Hey, I mean, I totally get it. Are you and Jake the only members of the Night's Watch? Because I called Jake to see if he had something maybe I could be checking into, and he told me he was at work, so I was just wondering if there's maybe somebody else I should give a call, or someone else's contact I could have.
Jake's the guy. So
Jake's the guy. Okay.
Jake's the guy. Yeah. Anyways, John, that's all. I just I'll get back to you as soon as I can here. But yeah, I gotta sort some stuff out with some people.
You sure you don't want someone to tag along? That sounds pretty serious.
I don't think you want to tag along.
I don't think it's a good idea to keep arguing with the person who's kind of got a say on whether or not I'm part of the Night's Watch. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, John. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Oh, God. That's one problem dealt with. Now what? What is Jesse?
I don't know, Megan, if you want us to hear your commentary, but you are muted.
I think Jesse's going to continue on with his melancholy moping he started this morning. And I'm heavily considering as Jesse just what he's gonna do about and with Richard. So he'll, in about an hour's time, after moping about, throwing rocks into the water at the waterfront, he's gonna give Richard a text, and I'll just say, I may have some answers if you want to discuss. Call me. And that's it. Yeah, I'll just wait to hear from Richard.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for an address. If it's like a really long time, I might try calling Richard again. Richard doesn't answer, which I presume, being unreadable, he won't. I might try calling David, because he did say that they were together. I'm going to presume that David will also not answer his phone. And then I guess I'm just stuck waiting.
David might answer the phone.
Then I will call David.
Trying to see what state they would be at. Let's go to Richard and play that out for a bit. Richard, you are being led across a large string surrounded by darkness. You are naked, and David is in front of you, also naked, leading you along the string. Keep your eyes forward.
Can we talk?
Could we talk? Yeah?
Is it safe to talk?
Makes it more exciting.
So, what is this, like magic mushrooms? Something in the air? Because I'm pretty sure I remember you unknitting me like my least favorite sweater, and now we're putting on a show.
Yes, you're not... I told you, Richard, that I was a surgeon. And I have found that talent works in other places too. In other ways. And right now, I have unwound you completely. I've opened up a hole to find an empty chest, because you are nothing but a hollow shell. So we're going to find something to put in it.
I have no idea what that means, Doctor, but hell, you take the lead.
You're going to be doing this alone, unfortunately. David turns, pulling a string out of nothing that he then pulls down to open as a doorway, which he pushes for you to step inside. You'll know if it works.
And if it doesn't?
I'm sorry.
I gotta stop trusting men who keep hurting me. Alright, let's go.
You step into a very clean clinical surgical area as you realize what's sitting in front of you. and it causes your entire body to twist. It's you. Bent back, body formed, bones broken. As a chair.
Wow, I wish I was empty. Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh no, what did they do to you, Richard? Oh no. I'm gonna run my hands over it.
When you do, you feel a breath rise in you. And as you open your mouth, the chair begins to breathe too.
I do not want to keep my hands on the chair, but I'm also getting a sense that this is my option. I'm gonna try and push my hand more into the chair, and I'm gonna start breathing more intently.
As you are like kind of like going making those noises like, oh, the chair is very raspily saying it as well.
There are like obvious seams in places where it's been stitched together.
Yeah.
And I'm in a surgical room.
You're in, you can see on the things that this is like a forensic science office. As you also are running your hands over the chair, you feel it running on your body, but it's kind of like broken. So like it's like runs up here, but then in a second like just skips and runs up here, as if the way the chair has been stretched and bent and stitched together isn't exactly right.
Oh. 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 Okay. Okay. No. We are not going to puke in ourselves. Okay. So we got the tools. Oh. We got the merchandise. And we got a guide. This. We just got to put it all back together, huh? All right. I'm gonna look around. Where's the closest like scalpel? I'm gonna have to unstitch this thing and put it back together.
There's a scalpel on the table next to you.
I'm gonna grab the scalpel, but then I'm gonna have an awful, sick thought, which is that I have never been able to give myself a lap dance. And I'm holding the scalpel, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm just like, the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm gonna very slowly lower my naked ass down into my own chair.
As you do, the chair lets out a gasp that you feel as if a breath is running through your body again. And instantly you're somewhere else. You're lying in a dark void as David stands over you, like a surgeon stitching you back together. But you're frozen. You cannot move. You cannot speak. You cannot say anything. You're just watching as a very skilled doctor puts you back together. But your body is made of string. Of dust, of sand, of pieces of old fabric. But eventually, he finishes, and you find movement in your body, a breath, and you're not in a world of darkness. You're lying on the damp grass next to the river. The tent is still next to you.
Do I have stitches? Do I have stitch marks all over me?
You don't.
I have no marks from where the stitcher made me
No.
into a chair.
No. Because you are the you who walked up to this path. You are not the you who was turned into a chair.
Did it? David?
He's right above you.
Did it work?
It did. No, he is not naked.
Does that mean I'm really back?
I think so. Catherine kneels down next to you, and she places a hand on your chest, and she just says, "He's here, but he's fragile."
What does that mean? What does fragile mean?
You're not human anymore. You're a memory that we made real. But you're real.
What does that mean? What does that mean, though? What does fragile mean? What do I have to?
Don't get cut in half, or else all your paper mache filling will fall out. She chuckles kind of acidically at that. But she says, not really, but really.
And that just sounds like a person.
If that's how you want to look at it, then yes.
You know, I don't understand anything you're saying, so yes, that is how I'd like to look at it. What you're telling me is I can't die. Like, if I die, I die.
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't looking for a way out. That problem just
David
a longer
stands as you're
time.
talking and extends a hand to help you stand up. You feel exactly as you did before. Nothing has changed. Richard, do you mind if I talk with Catherine before you go back?
I don't think. I mean, yeah, I'm totally fine with that, David. I am very fine with that. Obviously, you two need to figure out some sort of weird. Huh. You know, if you two wanted, you could. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you two talk. You could bring back everybody. You could bring back everybody this town's ever eaten.
At this point, Catherine smiles and she says, "We can make anything real."
Yeah.
She puts her hand on David's shoulder, and David looks at her and just nods.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, can't you? I'm gonna walk back to the car and sit down in it.
You don't get that far before David runs and catches up with you. And he, once again, does not make any conversation. But at a certain point, he notes that Sam called him and that we should give her an address.
David, what did I just... What does this mean now? What did I just enable?
Nothing bad.
Anything good, though, in this town?
I'm asking myself the same question.
You know, in a weird way, this kind of proves you're right, don't you think?
Right about what?
If you could change it, that means it's not real.
At that note, David kind of just like, you can see like a tremor shake through his eyes. And he says, I don't want to think about that.
Sorry. I get that. Sorry. Yeah, let's give her an address.
Where do you want to meet her?
Let's meet her in the parking lot. Where I called her from the first time. Parking lot at Malkin House.
Sure.
Okay.
Sam, you get an address. It's
Drive to
the apartment on East Side.
the apartment.
You get there much quicker than David and Richard do, but they do eventually pull up.
I am sitting on the hood of my car. I slide off as you guys pull up and walk around to the passenger side of the vehicle. Wait for you to get out.
I get out awkwardly.
So does David, less awkwardly.
Hey,
Hey, Sam.
so silly. I wanted to give you one of these, and I didn't earlier. So she walks over and she gives you a hug.
I'm gonna hug her back.
She like pulls away and steps back awkwardly, putting distance. Listen, I had Jesse come talk to Niev. She wouldn't talk to me about what had happened or what was going to happen. But I want you to know that even if Jesse decides whatever he's going to decide, that it won't be like last time. He reaches out and he puts a hand on your shoulder, on your up. It's just gonna end. It won't hurt for either of us in the same way. And she gives your arm a squeeze and lets her hand fall.
I'm gonna look over at David, like, I'm very clearly asking, like, what do we do at this juncture? Like,
When you look at him, he says, maybe he'll get lucky.
yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll get lucky. Thank you, Sam, I am. I believe you. It's not going to be the same. I know that. I mean,
I have all the time in the world. Please, go ahead.
none of us have all the time in the world. I might not be the original Richard. I might not really be a person. I feel like I've been given a second chance, and until somebody cuts that cord, I'm gonna try and do what the Night's Watch was supposed to do. So that's all I got. That's all I had then. That's all I have now. And hey, I felt like I've slept for 6 months, so I don't need any sleep tonight.
You've missed so much.
What happened? When did it stop being about the little people and finding people's, missing kids, or, tracking down a weird VHS and a VHS player? What happened to all of you after Holden, all of these others? When did you get so
much bigger than I ever expected. You died, and then everything was just so much more awful than I expected it to be. So unbelievably so. And not in the hold your hand while you die kind of way on. I can do that. I do that in the it doesn't make sense. And it's a big, messy, awful struggle of power where the little people are just pawns. And the game board is finite. You don't get to leave.
Can't argue with that. Can I tell you something awful, though, Sam?
Can't be worse than anything I already know.
The world you're describing? That was life before the Night's Watch. I'm not saying that makes it okay or that makes it better, but at least if these things are real, there's somebody to blame.
But it means we don't make a difference. All the death, all the suffering, all the things that wouldn't have happened if none of us had ever started trying to make a difference. So many things would have been... I can't help but think ignorance is better.
Did ignorance protect all the people who died because you tried to make a choice?
What if I'd never been there to make the choice in the first place?
Somebody else would have. Or people would have suffered some other way. Sam, if you think that this means that what we do doesn't matter, then it means that it wouldn't have mattered even if you didn't do anything. That road goes both ways. I was a drunk flipper detective living above the bar I worked at. It wasn't better.
Sam looks around in the silence. Why here? Where were you guys? That this was close. He looks to David.
We went for a hike and we lost cell phone reception.
A hike? He looks back at Richard.
I wanted to see one of the other cases. I told you I don't want to just give this up. What if she's lying, you know? What if I get to stay? What if I only, in the end, I still only have 18, 17 hours left? I wanted to try and do something. Anything. How much is a life worth to you, you know? What kind of mistakes are you willing to make for it?
So many.
Me too. I'm part of that club now, too. Sam, no, you go this time.
I was just gonna say, it only feels right to spend your last 18 hours or whatever it is with you. I feel like I want to be there again.
Let's try and find some time in that 17 hours to get to know each other first, though. All right. Last time when I died, you were a stranger. If I'm gonna die this time, I'd like you to be a friend by the time it happens.
Okay, that's a deal. It's a fair deal.
Hey Sam, I'm sorry.
For what?
Just sorry, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I know.
Where to next, Richard?
I don't have any of my case files, and if they're upstairs, I'm not gonna go get them.
Yeah,
Sam.
Actually, Sam, while we're here, I should go check on him.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stay with Richard.
Go check on. Go check on who?
David has walked away.
Go check on who, Sam? Go check on who?
There's so much that is so complicated to explain. We found the man responsible Peter Schneider. He's just a person that this entity is possessing, the latest person. But we couldn't just kill him. So he's under anesthesia. He's in a coma. It's the only way I could think, to stop the Stitcher from going to any other poor person and continuing on. It's a pause button, but it's the best we could do.
What do you mean? You've only gotten people hurt and killed. Found a way to stop the Stitcher. You put the thing that killed me to bed. I mean, even if it's only for a little while, that pause, that's everybody who's not getting stitched for a few months.
I don't know that it actually works. It's just a hypothesis based on what we found out. And it's not the end of this mystery.
Wow. Sam, that's still amazing. Let's say it goes away for a week. Let's say all you do is give it a hangover. It's amazing, Sam. That's like, who knows how many people it's not going to take away. How many Richards get to live because you made those choices?
It's not that big of a deal.
This fucker doesn't even know about the bell.
It's okay, it all balances out.
Yeah.
Suicides being stopped, putting this guy in a coma, getting kidnapped and starting a war. It's fine.
On this note, why don't we take another little YouTube break for ourselves? I'm going to write down a time code. All right, YouTube, we will be back very soon. I'm going to go step out of this room because it is hot. All right, Sam and Richard, is there anything you guys want to do?
While we're waiting for David?
David does eventually come back out. Even like
David's gone.
Beyond that, like what do you guys want to do next? Do you guys want to get Jesse involved? Do you want to?
I'm gonna leave it up to Richard because it's his last 18 hours, in my opinion. IMO. I'm also gonna start quietly calculating what I would estimate from the time that I knew he had 21, etc., to when I think he's going to die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we call Jesse. Hell, let's call Jake, see if he can get the day off. I mean, what's he gonna do? Sit in a fucking Richard chair?
Jesse,
But
your phone
obviously
does eventually ring.
Yeah. About how long do you figure afterwards?
Since you what?
Since I like texted him.
It's probably been like maybe an hour.
That's it. Jeez.
So Richard probably has like 18 hours left. I think, yes, that's a pretty reasonable expectation.
Okay. Oh yeah, no. Just. Hello? Hello?
Hey, You wanted to know what I wanted to do?
Yeah, sure. I suppose you could phrase it that way.
Sam's here with me. If you two can put whatever your vibe is aside for a little while longer, I was wondering if you had any active cases we could follow up on. Any missing persons? Anybody talk to Barnaby lately? I don't know. Is Barnaby a big deal in this town? He better not be that asshole.
No. No, Richard. I meant I might have answers for you about. You
Want him?
don't want them.
Nope. I want to go on a mystery. I want to solve a case. I want to find a missing kid. I want to stop a ghost from haunting a school. I want to figure out what the hell's going on in Trapper Woods. I hear that sometimes you'll see a big red light out there, and then people go missing. I don't know. I figure, what have I got to lose? There's a bunch of old structures around the base of the mountain at a fair distance. A bunch of closed-off area that nobody's allowed in. We could check that out. I'm sure there's something living in there. I mean, hell, if they're renting places out to this horrible seamstress, then they've probably got great accommodations for Dracula in a penthouse suite somewhere with big windows. Let's go after him.
Richard, what's with the attitude?
I didn't start the Night's Watch because I thought it was going to be safe. I did it to help people. And if I'm back...
Why?
If I'm back, then for however long I'm back, I want to help you. I want to make it worth something. I hear you managed to find a way to keep the Stitcher down for a little while. That means we can make progress. Means no one else is getting stitched. Let's do it again. There's a weird ad in the paper. It keeps going out asking people for fresh human teeth. That's probably worth investigating. We could look into that. I don't know. That was probably 6 months ago. You probably already busted the creepy dentist. I don't know. I don't know what y'all are up to.
At this point in the call, David steps out of the apartment.
I'm gonna wave to David. We're going monster hunting.
He looks at you, Sam. Should I go back to the apartment?
You and the Night's Watch or not, Dave?
I'm an edge case.
I mean, I didn't... Do you still give out badges?
No.
If you want to be in, you're in. I mean, unless that's a problem with you two. Jesse, are you coming or not?
Where do I meet you?
I mean, have you not solved the case in 6 months? I guess we could start at Garden View.
We solved
Sure.
that one.
I'll meet you at Garden View.
I guess we're meeting him at Garden View. Even if we've solved it, we can at least... Do none of you have any active cases anymore? Did you just solve everything and stop?
Look, it's I'll explain on the way.
Her?
You should go with Sam.
David, if you should come. I'd rather have you with me and know that you're safe than getting wrapped up in whatever else this city has in store.
Okay.
That right there. That is pure Night's Watch. Nobody wants to be on this car ride but me. Let's go.
I'll drive my car. You go with Sam.
All right.
As you guys are driving, do you guys want to each make a spot hidden check?
I would love to try.
What do I have
Me
for
too,
spot
or-
hidden?
No, not you,
Ooh.
Jesse, not you.
Not me.
Never Jesse.
My regular.
My better than regular.
Hard, alright. Sam, you occasionally notice it, but it doesn't catch your eye enough to interest you. But, Richard, you notice it more often. There is a car that seems to be following you guys that isn't David's car.
I am 100% gonna let Sam know.
And Sam, when he lets you know that the car is seeming to be followed, you're like, yeah, I have seen that car quite a bit. CJM, thank you so much for 12 months at the Golden Table using your Prime on us. We appreciate the support. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for helping the stream out.
Do I know? Have I seen the car before?
You have not... No. You have not seen the car.
Okay. Can I see David following us still at a distance?
You can, yes. The car is behind his car.
I will call David and tell him this. Just be like, I'm just gonna keep driving.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Now that you said it, this car's been behind me for a while.
We'll just go to Garden View.
Yeah. Jesse's got a gun, right?
Several.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know why I even asked. Then he hangs up.
There's several cars following us? Did I hear that?
No, Jesse has several guns.
Whatever happened to my gun?
I assume Jake took it or it left. I don't remember, honestly.
I think I gave it to somebody. That's probably why I didn't wake up with it. Weird.
You guys do make it to Garden View. Jesse's already there. And then...
I tell you, at the very least, the tail of Garden View. It's probably about as far as I get in that distance.
So you've saved people from 2 bad things.
I mean, to be fair, the second one, it wasn't really me. It was the stalker. And
Yes.
I just happened to be the catalyst for that situation.
But if you'd never gotten involved, then the suicides would still be happening.
I mean, I'm sure they would have figured it out eventually, but it's fine.
This
They
group?
were hot on the trail.
Huh. Wow, Sam, you've really, you should, talk to a therapist or something.
Just let me finish the whole story first. Hear about the shit that happened that wasn't so heroic.
Alright, just saying you got off to a good start so far.
That was a long time ago.
Not for me.
I will get out of the car.
Yeah. Jesse, do you get out of your car?
Yeah.
Jesse just starts
Gotcha.
shooting.
Does the car pull up?
Yes.
It's been following
The
us?
car is parked just down the street a bit. If you didn't see it following you, you never would have noticed it.
I'll walk over to Jesse, and I'll just be like, we were followed here. There's a car just up the street behind me. Don't be like super obvious.
Jesse, you recognize cars, so I have just another series of different questions for you. Were you there at the safe house the night where Mr. Swanson showed up?
I don't think I was.
All right, you do not recognize the
No.
car.
I don't know what it wants, what they want, but they're not approaching. Just maybe be aware that shit may go sideways as usual.
They're awfully cool about this.
It's been a long day.
like
And
2
it's
o'clock.
Richard's last
17 and a half
16.
hours?
17 and a half hours. I think it's only fair that we keep cool for now. For his sake.
Hey,
David is also there, standing, silently, observing, listening, watching, gathering intel.
Don't like that.
I'm gonna like note this car now though. What the fuck is this? I mean, you don't need to tell me a car. Just like Jesse's making that.
Yeah, and it's a fancier car, so a more expensive model. And it's like a sexy kind of like dark black mahogany kind of thing.
Fucking Bentley? Who can afford a Bentley?
Yeah, probably a Bentley.
In this economy?
Let me Google Bentley. What year, James?
Oh God, I don't know. What year does Red Hall take place in? Probably that year.
Oh, 2018. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh no. Now I have to look it up too.
Jesus. I'm not looking up.
Expensive.
I'm remaining blissfully ignorant.
It looks
Oh,
like a
it's-
car.
Beautiful car.
It looks like the type of car, if it was all black, I would drive if I was willing to own a car. We're just going to pretend I could afford it.
Yes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. With all the money you've been saving up for your first car, you're in Bentley territory. um,
Can I get it electric?
I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to cars way outside of my price range. So if it's over 1,000, I don't give a fuck about it. Yeah.
Right, so standing in the parking lot in front of Garden View, I'll like just look at everybody and be like, okay, let's go through the list. In no particular order. Odova Woods tried to turn Jesse into a tree. Trapper Woods has willow wisps and missing children. It's also where we met Catherine for the first time, or at least I met Catherine for the first. Not important. The Red Reverie book at Barnaby's. There was a very unfortunate death of a young fireman who read it. He was part of the Night's Watch for a brief moment.
Was he hot? I'm just saying, you keep bringing in like young hot guys and they keep dying. Maybe we just need to only not recruit hot people anymore. Speaking as a young hot man myself, like I just maybe Red Hell's got a type.
David also goes on this and says, does that mean I am also in danger?
You are in extreme danger, David.
Okay.
You guys
There was
fucking serious.
the whole thing that happened at the hospital. That never got solved either.
There's no way in a fucking funny goose chase of fucking mystery solving. TikTok. This is what you want to do, Richard. Seriously.
This is what I died doing last time.
Let me put this in perspective for you, okay?
Yeah, you do that.
You want to make a difference. You want to do a mystery.
20 hours.
Starting the night's watch,
Mm-hmm.
you've already done that. We've been involved in many things. You've made your difference, David. David. Richard. You're Richard.
We're both very attractive men, I understand.
Yeah, you've made your difference. So spend your time making your peace.
What
Don't
peace?
waste it.
What peace?
Wait, no.
What peace?
I'm gonna-
No, Jesse, you
gonna
tell me about my
rattle-
life. You
I'm
tell
going
me
to
about
rattle
my
off
life.
the names of your mother, sister, and significant other.
Yeah? Yeah, great.
Tell your
Good
life.
job. Good job. You know what else we should talk about? Let's talk about my alcoholism. Let's talk about the fact that I worked as a stripper and lived over top of my nightclub. Let's talk about the fact that I barely could afford rent and the advertisement I put in the paper. Let's talk about the wonderful life that I lived, Richard, prior to the Night's Watch giving me something to do and something to believe in because I lost friends there. Let's talk about the mom and the sister who probably don't even know I'm dead because nobody had a funeral. Let's talk about calling them up and telling them, hey, I'm going to die in 20 hours. You think you can make a flight out here? Because let me tell you something. My mom and my sister are not doing any better than I am financially right now. Hell, they're probably doing worse. Hell, they probably think that I'm gone. Because I just dropped off the face of the earth and I didn't do shows anymore and I didn't try and send them tickets and everything I have is gone. And frankly, Jesse, it wasn't much to begin with. So I don't know why you're here in Red Hall and I don't know what your fucking deal is. But don't tell me what's worth living in a life because I have already died once. And this is all I have. This is all I ever had. All right? You are a real PI. I called myself a private dick because it was funny with my name and my joke. That's what I've got. All right? I've got a joke, and I've got a stripping career that died 6 months ago with me. So let's find a fucking monster, and let's put it under anesthesia, or ring its fucking bell, and let's save some fucking, I don't know, kids or something. Because that's what I got. I've got exactly as much gas as is in my car in whatever impounded lot that it's in.
What's this car doing, Justin?
Sitting.
It's not.
Jesse, just let it go. It's not worth it. If he wants to go find a monster, let's go find a monster. It's Richard. He's here. He's only here for a limited amount of time. Let's just...
I'm not going to poke the hornet's nest.
We already know that the balance swings no matter what we do. Why don't we just go investigate something? You know how I feel about it as much as anything else? Ever since I got out of that fucking hospital, ever since I got David out of that void, I don't want to be here.
When she
doing
says,
this.
ever since I got David out of that void, I'm just going to look at David and be like, you're welcome.
Look, if you don't want to be here, then just go. We've had this conversation. I want you to help. I want you to be safe. I want you to be here. I want you to be happy. But I'm not going to force you. And I want to spend the last few hours that I have with the man that I held while he died. Sorry for that closure necessity.
I was there too. Jesse, let me make this easy for you, okay? I don't know why you're here in Red Hall, but if you've been looking for 6 months, the leads are all dried up or they're gone. You can either come and help solve mysteries and save people, or as a thank you, a real thank you for bringing me back. I'm not being rude, I'm not being mean. Jesse, you're out of the Night's Watch. Go home, get in your car, and leave. Okay? You're not going to find what you're looking for here, not if you haven't found it yet.
Richard,
You're out.
He can't. He can't leave.
Why not?
None of us can. If we leave, we'll just end up back here.
Is that a real thing, or is that just how you feel?
I believe it.
This is what you're not grasping, Richard. Your desperation to make a change here. You're gonna stir up some shit. It's gonna be putting more people in danger than it is gonna be helping. So, if we go and try and find a fucking monster and put it down, who knows who has an allegiance to that monster, who knows who's trying to harness that monster's power, who knows any of that fucking stuff. We don't. Who knows if we can even handle it? You might end up getting us killed, which I guess doesn't really fucking matter to you. But the point is, you care about these people, you're not going to put them in danger.
The Night's Watch was always voluntary. I get it. You've been through some shit. You can't handle it anymore. I respect that, Jesse. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for bringing me back. Thank you for being a part of the Night's Watch. Hell, I don't know what it was going to do to me. Glad I don't get to find out now. And, for what it's worth, thanks for putting the bullet in my head. You've done your duty. Thank you. But I am not going to lie down and just decide that because doing something might lead to people being hurt, that means somehow magically that not doing something means people don't get hurt. That's not how it works.
We don't do nothing. We just wait until it's safe. That's what Holden does for us.
Well, I don't work for Holden. And waiting until it's safe, well, I don't think that's really an option for any of us. Me either, to be honest. I don't think pretending it's going to be safe ever is how this city ever worked. If it was, people wouldn't go missing.
Jesse, you know as well as I do that working is what ended up getting me stuck in the hospital. Ended up getting me sold to whatever bought me. Ended up with the potential for me or David having to get traded as collateral, which capsized everything. Working for Holden didn't make it any better. Nothing makes it better.
You're not still this naive, Sam, are you?
It's not naivety. It's experience. Look, we're gonna go. We're gonna go do something. Even if it's just wander around the woods for a while.
Why don't you go volunteer at a soup kitchen or something where you can see real help and real.
I mean, for people who are going to die because something in this town eats them? You want me to go and put band-aids on skin knees when people are getting shot? I'm sorry, Jesse. Again, I get it. We can have a big blowout fight about this if it'll make you feel easier when you get in your car and drive away. I'm happy to do that for you. I really am, bud. It's just... I'm sorry. You're out. We're gonna go and try and help people, because if doing nothing and doing something both lead to the same place, then why not at least try and do something, you know? Why just give up and die? I'm not gonna give up and die.
Look, Jesse, you wanted to make sure that I was safe the other night. Do you want to come or not? Because I'm going.
Here is the honest truth as I know it, Richard. When the time comes, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be the same fucking thing. And I just wanted I didn't know if it was better to spare you that knowledge or just let it happen. And I figured if you
asshole.
wanted someone there, I could be there again.
Jesse, I don't think you have any choice to come with us then, because I don't think Sam's ever going to forgive you if you don't.
I'm just gonna turn and walk away a few steps and just like stand there with my hands on my hips, like head tilted style, like what
Fuck.
Why did you lie to me? What did it do? What good? Seriously.
I'm looking over at David now.
Have we not been through enough to just tell each other the fucking truth? Are there not enough lies in this city already?
Just didn't want you to fret. Sam.
I wouldn't have worried. I would have tried to do something about it. I would have made a plan. I would have got anesthesia from the hospital or offered Richard some other option. I would have gone to... I wouldn't have worried. I would have just had more time. Why did you lie? Do you think I'm that fragile? You called me naive. Do you think I haven't grown at all since we first met? I know it hasn't been that long. I understand. But think of all the shit that you and I have been through. That we all have been through. And it goes right back to that moment when you were standing over top of me while you shot Richard in the face. That's where it all started. And you're still gonna lie to me? Why?
That's what I.
Has David made any change in expression whatsoever?
No.
So here's what I was going to talk to you about. Richard, is did you need time to say goodbye to your family? I would have. It makes it sound like I'm conning you into this. If you want to say goodbye to your family, I'll go to the amp. I'll meditate. I don't know what the consequences of this are, but I'll do that. But I will not do it. So you can go run around and drag up monsters. But I'll let you get and give closure. And I'm not saying, huh?
I was just gonna say Sam turns to look at Richard.
I'm not trying to make this I control you.
That's exactly
I
what it
told
is.
you straight up I wasn't going to meditate. And here's the worst, the brutal truth of that is it happened, Richard. I regretted it. Now, did I regret it so much that, oh, if I knew I was bringing you back, I would? I can't answer that. But this situation, you being here, all that means is that decision had no consequences. And it has to. Because you can't just take a life and have it not matter. And that's hard. It's a very, it's easier for me than it should be. Your death needs to matter. So if you want to make amends with your family, if you want to have that closure, that phone, whatever you need, I'll keep you here for that. But I'm not going to let you put other people in danger.
Richard's going to walk over to David. And I'm going to lean in close, real quiet. And I'm going to whisper in his ear, I got to tell him. You get it,
Can
right?
I listen? Can I listen? Can I
You
listen?
could try a listen check.
I would love to. I'm pretty
There's
good
no
at
way.
these.
I'm not good.
I'm pretty
There's
good
no
at
way.
these. That's a 64. I didn't do it. I'm actually not even average at these.
David just shakes his head.
Listen, you're a nice guy, but what if I do? What happens if I do? They're tearing themselves apart over this. I can just take that away.
You'll break it more than you ever could know.
Break what?
All of it.
Look, Richard. The way I see it, you have two options. It sounds like you're gonna go one way or the other. You can stick around for a bit and tie up loose ends. Or I can go try and get something from the hospital, at least to make it easier.
You know what? This has always only ever been voluntary. All of it. Sam, you're out. I appreciate you wanting to spend the hours with me, but the truth of the matter is, you don't really want to be here, and me forcing you onto this is just as bad as Jesse trying to force me to make my choices. Jesse, you are stone cold out until you figure out something for yourself. I'm not bothered if you didn't mean to bring me back. What I'm bothered by is you using this again and again every step of the way, and you don't even seem to realize it. You don't know how much you're trying to control everything around you, and it's wild. Not telling us until it's your last card to play, and then playing a further card of giving me enough time to get my life together. Jesse, you're sick, man. You're sick right now, and you need to heal. And I don't know how to do that for you. But, David, you are the only other member of the Night's Watch that I'm aware of right now, other than Jake, who's not here. Do you want to come monster hunting with me? Because these two don't, and it's probably best for them if they don't. Let's kick it old school. 2 people, torchlight, no plans, no maps. Hell, we'll go talk to Barnaby and see if he's got anything. And Barnaby needs to know I'm back, too.
Sam looks at David.
What's that card doing?
Still just sitting there.
I think this is the best way to do this without hurting anybody any further. I'm going to keep doing what Richard does best, because this is what Richard's got. And David, you're in if you want to be in, but it's always only ever been voluntary.
I'll stay with him till he goes.
I'm not letting you go alone.
It's got me. He's not alone.
No offense, but your track record for living through these is very good.
Sam.
It's not going to get any better.
If you don't want me to go, I won't. But we're just going to do exactly like you said. We're just going to go for another hike in the woods.
Then I'm coming. I'm not leaving you to...
On that, David turns and looks at you, Richard, and says, I'd like to withdraw my membership from the Night's Watch.
I'm going to stick out my hand. I'm going to shake David's hand, and I'm going to say, we're even then. You and Sam, you go get some help too. I don't know what's going on here, but if this is what you two think an X thing looks like, you are as bad as any of the people I used to dance with. Or me. You're as bad as I am. Cool. Anyone got money for an Uber or something? I hear that's a thing now.
David opens up his wallet and gives you some cash.
Sweet. I'm heading to Barnaby's. I guess Night's Watch will see you all around. I'll get Jake to give me back your cell phones, and I'll get them for the next people. And hey, it's voluntary. You'll see the ad in the paper once I get another job, a place to stay. Good luck. And if you don't hear from me again, you know why.
As you walk past, I'm just gonna stop, put a hand on your chest, and I'm gonna push you back very strongly, and I'm actually gonna roll an intimidation check with that.
Okay.
But I want you to know.
Classic James move, rolling for intimidate.
That's a 4.
Shit.
Very intimidating.
I don't even know how I resist that.
You'll have to roll
you roll a 3 or lower
on your for a power check.
It's not going to happen.
The roll could happen.
I got a 15, but I did not get a 3.
Yeah, there's a 3% chance it will.
I'm just gonna put a hand on your chest and be like, when you get a new apartment, when you get a new... You're talking in a lot of what ifs, like this isn't definite. What do you know that I don't?
I honestly don't know anything.
Can I see if I believe that he doesn't know anything?
Yeah, you can try. Do psychology.
Does Jon Snow really know nothing? No, that's a fucking 92. I believe him. He knows nothing.
I mean, I'm probably... Yeah, it's probably super obvious, though, because Jesse did succeed in the Intimidate.
I guess Sam did succeed enough to, get over her doubt, you know?
No, nothing. This is just a man who's gonna die, who's desperate to pretend he isn't. Makes total sense.
I've seen this before in hospitals all the time.
But, I mean, Jesse can probably tell.
He has to roll for it.
I don't... I'm trying to get it out of you with brute force.
I mean, I'm afraid of you. I'm definitely afraid of you. You killed me once.
Yeah.
You know what? Persuade is my other best stat, so I'm going to persuade you.
You can't persuade someone to tell you a secret. You can persuade to get them to do something that's not in their favor, but...
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Is it just the psychology then, or how do I?
Yeah, psychology.
How do I try and convince him to fess up?
I mean, I guess maybe persuade would work. It would be conflicting, though, how much he wants to tell you. But it wouldn't be a persuade. It would be like the stat that you want to use, Eric, to not have him...
Dance. I'm going to dance.
So it would probably be your power, but it could also be your intelligence, because you could be making a choice to keep it secret. Honestly, you could you could even tell me how much you want to keep it secret, and then I can use that to determine the difficulty he needs.
Let me pose the question before you decide that, Eric. Is what oh god, I just had it on the tip of my tongue there. So it's gonna go. You don't know, you haven't had the time to learn everything we've learned, and you don't know what powers you're messing with. Mm-hmm. What are you keeping a secret from right now?
I don't think that would break him at all, because he'd just be like, it's the same thing. It'd be like, I'm just gonna go.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I want to tell you to, but I 100% don't want to tell you to.
It's fair.
David has been very nice to me so far. David's clearly messed up in the same weirdness that you are all in, but David's person helped bring me back to life, whereas Holden threatened to shoot me with a gun. Sam is obviously falling apart and can't handle any more lies, and at least if I'm out of her life now and keep doing the Night's Watch, she won't find out that I told her a lie, and it can just be a big weird mystery. Why is Richard still around? And she and David are clearly going through some shit, and I owe David, because David did just save my life. and I owe you, but I've already tried to help you as much as I can, and as much as I owe you my life, you also have threatened to take it away unless I do what you want. So
Wait
at
for this. If you, as you don't tell me, I'm just gonna say, if you want me there at the end, call me. But if you've done something and it doesn't come for you, I'm fine.
I think you won't. I don't think Jesse would even have the inkling that Richard knows he's gonna live. So I'm gonna strike that line from the record.
I'm okay. I'm okay with saying it because I just came up with a good lie that I'm totally going to stammer.
Sure.
If it's going to happen the same way, then I mean you've already saved my life because it's gone. It's asleep. It can't come from me as long as it's asleep, right? So it doesn't matter. Maybe no. Maybe for as long as this old guy stays asleep, I get a week. I get a month. I get a year. Huh? You think about that? Maybe it can't come from me anymore.
An
You
interesting
really
thought,
believe that?
but Niev doesn't seem to think so. Good luck, Richard.
And Richard's going to leave before anyone forces him to choose between his friends and this dude who is obviously helping his friends and keeping them safe any further. Richard is walking off, calling an Uber, and going to try and repay whatever debt he's incurred by getting what he wanted.
I will tell Sam, I'll be like, it must be the stress of the day, situation. I'm reading too much into him saying he's getting an apartment, right?
You lied to me. Maybe he's lying to me. I give up. I'm gonna go home. Maybe I'll call him in 17 hours and 15 minutes.
Sam, I lied because I was afraid you'd run off like you did when you found out when David was in trouble. And maybe try to do something that much. I'm sorry. I should trust you more. It's impulsive. You don't need to forgive. And
Good.
Jesse will just go if someone doesn't say anything else to him. And I'm
Nah,
gonna do a real slow drive by that Bentley.
The car's gone.
Motherfucker! Jesse will scream as he gets in his car, looks at it, and then realizes it's gone. Jesse will just drive to his fucking shitty motel room and be like, I am the worst human.
I'm gonna go.
I'll see you there.
See there.
Do we need to talk about us? He was probably right.
What do you want to talk about, David?
Today's been a rough day and it's only 3 in the afternoon. Why don't I take you out for dinner, Sam?
I can't imagine this is a conversation I want in any kind of restaurant.
Well, why talk about it? Let's just do what we both want.
Can I ask you one thing?
Yep.
Are you being honest with me? Everyone else is lying. And I know that you've been through a lot because of me. And I just want to make sure that you're telling the truth. Or at the very least, I know you're not.
One day, Sam, I am gonna hurt you more than anyone else has ever hurt you before.
Cool.
But I won't lie to you.
What does that mean?
I'm not doing it to hurt you, but I know it will.
Doing what?
I can't tell you yet. But I'm safe, and I'm keeping you safe. Just what we both wanted. You just have to trust me.
What did you get wrapped up in? Who did you get wrapped up with? Are you working for Holden?
No.
Nigel?
No.
Catherine?
No.
Whatever the fuck the last one's name is.
No.
I want to trust you, I do, but this is just like every other secret that the city keeps. This is just like when Holden refused to tell us things and just put us at the end of the string. I know that you might unravel something.
Come with me to my apartment and I'll show you what I've been doing.
Okay.
Sam and David drive to the apartment. Jesse, where are you going, back to your motel room?
I just wanted to give Niev a call before, and that's kind of the last thing I want to do this session.
Sure. You can call Niev. She picks up. Niev Murphy speaking. How may I help you?
Yeah, it's Jesse. As per our earlier conversation, how things go for Richard.
Mm-hmm.
If that thing, it can't come for him, so how will it get him?
The thing that originally took him will come, but not in the state that it is now, but in the state it was then. Because what I do is temporary, unless further meditation happens. But when the world notices that there is a sore that must be removed, it just does it, even if the current life of it makes no sense. Sorry?
Perfect. That weirdly makes perfect sense.
First and only thing that ever will in Redwall.
I guess I just have a philosophical question for you.
Well, I'm a
As
very
well.
bad philosopher, but I will do my best.
By bringing him back, doesn't that just make his death and my actions inconsequential and meaningless?
Well, let me return your question with a question. Are you feeling any better now that he's here? Or do you still feel the same?
Honestly, didn't really know the man that well. I think he's desperate for once. The rats that could pull the whole sweater apart. So
But Jesse,
I don't know.
let's look at just you. Do you feel better from our session or worse? I just want one word.
Worse. It's worse.
Then him dying will always have a purpose and a point. And then truly you can start to move on. For his death isn't really a regret. Because he's here and it's not better. So consider yourself free of that weight. And he will disappear and unravel, for he's not actually here. He's just your memory. Let him go, and he'll disappear again.
Oh, thanks for taking my call.
Beep.
And yeah, Jesse's just gonna waste the rest of the day doing his melancholy drive around, fucking walk on the salty air beach.
All right, we're going to end with Richard. So we're going to stop at David's apartment, where you and him walk up, Sam. And it's dark and quiet. A lot of the curtains are pulled, and it's cold, empty, and dark. It hasn't been here, like, used in a while. And he sits across from you in the living room. Sam, you know me. And you know that this whole thing has been about answers. And how when I found out where I was, and then I saw it wasn't real, that broke me. And I started to wonder if this was real, if that was real, if anything around me was real. Right? But then I started to get some sense of it. I started to wonder who I was, where I was, what was real. And then that's when I found it. And he reaches into his chest and begins to pull out a string. And he just carefully twines it back in. Sam, I'm a good surgeon. I can do things that not many other doctors at the hospital can do. And you know that I need everything sorted exactly as it was and to make sense. So when I started to figure out that it's me, he gets up and walks into his bedroom.
I follow him.
He motions to the wall, and you notice that it has been picked away and pieces of string fall, and behind it in a dark hole there is the same swirling sea of stars that existed in his apartment in the fake world. He points at it and he says, Sam, I made that.
Why? What is this?
It's me.
What do you mean it's you? What is this?
We all have one.
David.
We all have one, Sam. It's... I'm sorry.
There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in this town. And there's a lot of stuff that I've experienced that it doesn't make sense. But I am still me. This and whatever spring, I'm not sure you're still you anymore. And she'll kind of start to back out of the bedroom.
I understand, Sam. I don't know if you took the real me out of that place. And I'll never know. I don't know if the real me was even put in it.
What do you mean we all have one? How do you know that?
He reaches a hand out very softly. May I?
No. No. It's... How many people have you done this to?
Do you want the answer that hurts, or do you want the answer that's easy?
I want the truth, David.
I've done it to one person. Richard.
What did you do to Richard?
I think it's best if you just go, Sam.
You're not gonna try and explain it to me?
I
don't get to know.
I've heard you...
I just get to... No, go ahead, please.
I've hurt you enough, Sam. Let's just... If you think this and this isn't me, then let's just stop this.
I want to know what you did to Richard. Explain it to me.
A heart transplant. That's what made the most sense to me, to how to describe it. He wasn't real. He was just a paper doll, like those other paper dolls that were in the world you put me in.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what if we just put his heart back in him? So Catherine helped me. But I'm not working for her. But
You took the suffering effigy of a man and put a dead man's heart in him. I don't know what to think of that.
How? It just made sense.
This is the kind of thing So he's not going to die because he's not real. Because he's some...
No,
stuffed puppet.
Sam, no. He's not gonna die because I made him real. It's Richard.
Is he though?
Yes, he is. The surgery was a complete success.
Saying things we don't understand.
No, I get it.
Do you? Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I'm not. It doesn't feel right, David. Richard is not supposed to be alive. It was awful. And it hurt like hell. But he died. And it mattered. And now he's I don't know. He's Richard again. But what does it change? What does it affect now to have him back?
Sam, I didn't do it for you. I didn't do it for Jesse. I didn't do it for anyone.
I'm not saying you did.
No, but the thing is,
it
doesn't need to impact anything. He's back and he's good and he's happy.
Everything we do impacts this place. Every choice that we make. The fact that at some point in my 25th year, I was like, I'll go join an organization that helps the city. That seems like a good idea. That changed something. Jesse talking to somebody he thought was harmless changed something drastically. Everything we do affects something. And Richard being back is gonna change. I don't even know where to begin to think what.
Well, Sam, I don't regret it. I helped a man who was scared of dying. What do you think my job is? What do you think I was put on this earth to do? You just helped me find a better way of doing it. And I don't say any of this to hurt you, Sam, because I believe it to be a good thing. And I'm just sorry you don't. He wanted to tell you guys when we were in Garden View.
Who did?
Richard.
Sounds like Richard.
But I had to tell you, it couldn't have come from him. And I was going to tell you. Obviously, I was going to tell you as soon as you wanted to ask. As evidenced by the fact that we're here. But I wanted to keep it as long as I could. Because I was because I was with you. But I understand if this is it. I broke what you wanted. And I don't regret it. Because now I can make this city a better place by actually helping people. You know that woman who came in and diagnosed her own tumor? The exact spot and size and shape? I'm just doing what she's doing because I've seen it too. I walk it.
Glad you believe that. I think you should probably stay here. Like,
Okay. Goodbye, Sam.
see you around. And she'll leave.
Richard! What are you up to?
I didn't call an Uber. I'm walking. I'm walking to Barnaby's.
Can you give me a spot hidden check?
I'd be happy to. Now it's dark and I don't have a flashlight, so do I get any sort of
It's only
negative?
3:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, right! This is normal.
The longest day on the planet.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I pass.
You see that Bentley is following you.
I'm gonna speed up a bit.
It also begins to pick up its speed.
I'm gonna start running. I'm gonna start running, and I'm gonna start just running as fast as I can.
Which way do you turn? Do you stay on the main street? Do you go down an alleyway?
I'm gonna stay on a main street. I'm not stupid. I need to stay on where people can see me. I'm gonna start yelling.
What do you yell?
I'm gonna yell help.
A few people stop and look. A lot of people are just kind of just minding their own business. A few of them are stop and kind of get concerned, pull out their phones, but then when you run past, they just let it go. Some people call the police, but none of them actually seem to help you. Which way are you running?
I'm gonna run towards the next busy intersection I can, and I'm gonna try and use that.
As you are running, the street before you begins to change. And you find yourself running on a thin white strand over a black abyss. All around you is darkness. And a few feet in front of you as you're running towards it is a man. He's in a suit that kind of just hangs a bit loose on him. His hair is slicked back and he has a nice pair of glasses on. He's looking at a watch on his wrist, and as he sees you approaching, he just kind of smiles.
I'm gonna try and stop running and turn and run the other way.
As you turn and run the other way, he is standing on the other side.
I'm gonna look at the abyss and swallow.
I wouldn't do that if I was you, buddy. You go down there, you're gonna find something a lot worse than me. Something with a lot more legs. Pleased to meet you. My name's Dennis.
Richard.
You are a marvel, my friend.
No, it's too good. Damn it, I should have told them.
Told who?
Does it matter now?
Your buddies? Back at Garden View?
Yeah. You were there, right?
Oh, no, I wasn't there. No, no, no. I was here the whole time. Waiting. Biding my time just in case you ran. That's what Nigel told me to do anyway. That surgeon friend of yours did something magnificent with your body. But I think we both know by now that you can't exist here. You're an anomaly. You're broken. You don't belong, right?
So everybody keeps saying, I'm going to slowly start inching closer to him.
As you inch closer, he floats backwards with each step. You're trying to think of something funny here, aren't you? Some sort of trick.
You ever heard a bad joke before?
I make plenty, so I probably know them.
I was going to tell it to Sam until she freaked out. It was going to be in my letter. I was going to tell her, hardwood is hard to keep down.
I mean, on the
Can't
bright
blame
side,
me.
maybe one day you'll be back, right? You were gone before, you're gonna go again, maybe one day you'll be back. Third time's a charm, maybe. Do you want a head start? You know it's nothing personal, right? I'm just fixing a problem that needs to be fixed. All right. How does 15 seconds sound?
Like a lifetime.
All right. Whenever you're ready, start running. I enjoy the chase.
One day, someone's gonna come along, and all you people, you're gonna stop mattering. Because if these things out here are this big, there's bigger things out there too.
You know what, buddy? You're right, and honestly, you're a good soul. And I hate to be doing this. I look forward to the day when I don't have to do this anymore, but for the time being, this is my job and this is what I was put here to do. So unfortunately, buddy, this is what I gotta do.
Richard's gonna do the only defiant thing he can. He's gonna step off the string.
As you do, he grabs towards your back, and as you fall, you begin to unravel. As what is inside of you, the paper, the string, the scraps, the dust, falls into the void until there is only a string left, which he wraps around his fingers, sticks into a glass bottle, and puts into his pocket. Well, at least you're not a chair. And that's tonight's session. Goodbye, YouTube. Remember, what is dead stays dead. Those are the rules, everybody. Goodbye.